I'm just gonna say it. Barbara, if you're listening to me, you're the worst. Action. Welcome back to the recap. I just want to say, on behalf of all of us, we apologize for the hiatus. I posted 2 weeks ago, but didn't post to Facebook. It was my bad. You guys can blame me. I apologize.
Roast them in the comments, please.
Please do it.
Last week was the women tell-all, so everything and anything kind of just...
They did our job for us.
They really told their own stories, own events, own life experiences, so we just kind of felt like we didn't want to give our own take because then we're becoming people that judge, and we're not the people that judge, so we just left that on tack. But this week, the finale. Sorry. I don't even know where to begin. From like week 5, we saw the preview for the finale, and Chris Harrison probably stated maybe 100 times before the first episode that it's a season that they've never experienced.
Ever.
Never in a billion years. And boy, was it something that I honestly had no idea was coming.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when it started out, like Colin said a couple weeks ago, Madison's going to leave. The mom's going to be pissed. He goes and gets Madison. Madison comes back, proposes. But at the same time, it's just all in reality. It's just... I'm rambling because it's pretty much all rambling because it's nuts what happens.
It was nuts. It was absolute insanity.
So what happens is it starts off day 1, yesterday, Monday night, Hannah Ann meeting the family. And boy, did it go absolutely the opposite of what I was expecting.
Really?
I thought they were gonna shit on her. Yeah, I thought she was going to lose it.
Wow. I kind of had that, a little bit of that feeling like they weren't really going to warm up to her just because...
She's 23?
No, just because the family had already met Madison and on like that first date, which...
That happened like 8 months ago, basically.
Well...
It feels like.
Right, it felt like it happened a long time ago, but like in reality at the time of taping,
it was weeks.
Probably, like a month or something like that. So
yeah.
I thought for sure Madison had the leg up on meeting the family because this would be the second time, whereas Hannah Ann, this is her first time seeing them.
Especially how invested his family is with anything. Even his brother, which baffles my mind.
No, I agree, and like I thought that they, because they really touched on Peter's lifestyle and how he's very out there and likes to do things.
To party.
And so I thought that they would have been more willing to accept the fact that someone could maybe keep him in the house a little bit on Madison's end, but it went the opposite way. They loved Hannah Ann because they were so alike, and that was just the recurring theme.
Obviously, if you guys are not aware, seconds into the episode, by meeting the family, I apologize. Hannah Ann is madly in love with Peter. She is bawling at every second when she has to talk about Peter, which kind of warms my heart. It truly shows that she is truly invested. And she's a gem. Like, she is truly
a gem.
Truly a gem, and that's why she was my mortal lock, because she is beautiful.
Me too. That is why I stuck with her for most of the year, except for that one time. There's one time, Hannah.
One time. We both had our differences, but it just all comes around, just like the world circles. Just everything and anything just comes around. And then we get to Madison's part of the episode. They started off a little heated with them talking for like what we think was like 20 minutes, but according to her mom was 3 hours. But anywho, they started talking about the differences and how they feel about one another. And Madison, I feel like, was with the most human about it. Was like, hey, I expressed my feelings and you destroyed him, and he basically had to revive himself, which I don't know how he really did, because
I think what it came down to, again, and I think this is a show issue. This is a time, a length of time issue. So we had, I mean, how long between Fantasy Suites and
proposing
and the final two? Like, how long do you think that was?
It was 2 days.
A couple days?
It was 2 days.
Fantasy Suites, though, and then
Fantasy Suites. Well, they had to travel.
Right.
A couple days. They had to do their knickknacks and
so it's maybe a week. Maybe a week. And Madison, being somebody who has made some decisions for herself in her life,
which I truly stand
and
by.
she told Peter that is a big time, like that's almost a deal breaker. Essentially gave him an ultimatum. She doesn't think it was an ultimatum. Sounded like an ultimatum. He went and slept with the other two anyways.
But yeah.
So like to go from that and then a week later, now you got to go meet the parents, and like in 2 days you're going to have a proposal. Like
she had every right to be 3 hours. But before we talk about what his parents had to deal with it, Colin, for those who have not watched any episodes before and are just tuning into the finale because you just want to know the finale results, we're going to give Colin the podium and talk about his one and only Madison and the things that went on during the meet and greet.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, those of you that have been riding with me, that have been staying the course on the Madison train, know the feelings that I have towards what she should have and her and Peter should have for each other. And truly, they made it seem like she was the bad guy in many scenarios, because they portrayed it like she was caring about herself as if that was a bad thing.
Right.
But it's just as much her relationship as it is his,
right.
Even though it's the show based on him.
Yeah, no, she had every right to give her opinion, which I thought was awesome. Really truly thought that Peter was going to abide by it and go with it. But dude, we all know he is a man that wants to do what he wants to do, which I think is, I'm gonna say it.
I understand.
He's coming off as a douche.
Like, I understand many people are saying, yeah, Fantasy Suites is part of the show. I get that.
He gets to do what he wants, but no.
But at the same time,
if you really feel about someone,
he could have accepted the Fantasy Suites with all of them and then just not slept with them. Like, not had intimate relationships with them. They could have slept there. They could have stayed together for the night, but that didn't have to happen because he knew the expectations. And if he would have truly looked into like how he felt about Madison, then he would have made the right decision to begin with.
I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah, I don't know. With what he said during Monday's episode, with how much he cared about Madison, like you got to know that he had been feeling that for a while. And so to ignore what her expectations were for him, along with how strongly he felt for her,
just really confused us all, and just
it's just kind of irresponsible.
Yeah, by every means, by every single means.
It's not clear thinking.
So then we jump right into the lovely date. A helicopter with Madison, Lovely helicopter as usual, holding hands, loving life. La. But then voiceover work, she goes, what does she say? I just gotta surrender.
Love conquers all, but you gotta know when to surrender.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. She said that in the voiceover, so we kind of knew what was going to happen. He was obviously he was
very much in love.
He wanted to propose then and there, but obviously it's a show. I gotta stop saying obviously, but
obviously.
The date goes on. He's hand in hand with her, love and life, and then she gives him the news. They do like how every interview / conversation goes, that they talk and give their expressions like, okay, get on with it. What are you saying? I just love you so much. I just see a future. And then there's a but.
There's a huge but. I was waiting for that big butt to come out and start shaking. And Madison brought that huge butt out.
But did not shake her butt. She
did not shake her butt.
She shook the minds.
Metaphorical butt. It's just just dropped the bombshell.
So, yeah, she just bombshell saying, I gotta leave. He was distraught because honestly, we all knew he was going to pick her over, even though he was torn both ways over Hannah Ann. We all knew it was ending up with Madison. She left because she wasn't sure that he was the one. And Colin, what's your final words about leaving?
I respect the fact that she finally did decide to leave. I wish she would have done it beforehand, before the rose ceremony, out of fairness. But at the same time, I totally get it. Like, she's being pulled in so many ways. It's such the show is crammed together in so few of days that she has to make decisions like that. And if I'm trying to speak from Peter's side too, like, I would rather have her leave then at that point than to have me get down on one knee and propose and have her say no at that time, because I think that totally tears, the chances apart. This way, and as the show goes on, you get to learn a little bit more about what possibly could happen down the road. But it's tough. I choose the mortal lock every week, and life just came full circle.
And I'm wearing this shirt in pure respect of her honesty. She deserves the best in life. Although she wasn't my mortal lock, and although I thought she was better than Hannah Ann, she deserves this moment for all of us. And she's gone. So, rest in peace, beautiful Madison. And
it's tough.
It
was tough. It was hard to see. I do want to say, in the context of the show, terrible move for her to leave. In the context of the show,
yeah, she screwed up.
In real life, definitely a good move.
And that's just it, though.
In real life, see, that's
exactly it, because she is the realist. She's real with herself at all times.
No matter how.
She's real in that she needs to care about her side of the relationship.
Definitely. She did
exactly what you're saying, yeah.
Hannah Ann's date, though.
That poor girl. This is where he comes back on the worst track. The worst person, I think, on the Bachelor show ever, seasons, whatever. He led her on to believe that she was still fighting against another woman. He should have told her on that date with the kangaroos, like, listen, you're going to act as if you're with someone, but at the same time, I'm picking you and let's just go for it, baby.
Yeah, but you think you had to have hard directions from producers.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. I believe so, but at the same time, that poor girl.
Which, I don't... never mind.
We're just going to... So
I'm not going to throw that thought out there. That's a train wreck of a thought.
And she said she knew something was off.
She knew something was off. She felt it. She said it.
She felt the vibe.
She's scared that knowing... She gave literally every single second she talked about Peter, she started to cry. Which she was madly in love. He would say jump and she'd jump. And I think that's messed up about the show, that he's torn about one girl that doesn't want... It happened before, and I could see it happening once again, but who knows. But no words can describe what was leading up to part 2, day 2, Tuesday night, which is...
Tonight.
And boy, oh boy, was there some... first of all, Kelly being in the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed her. Yeah.
I truly missed her. Also, other pointer that they pointed out, a dude in the audience was the ring guy. I forget his name, but he was
Neil Lane.
Yeah.
Yep. He was in the audience with a briefcase, thinking that someone was going to propose, which threw us off, which producers did. One day I hope to be a producer and a director, and so I'm taking notes, but screw you, Tom, as of right now.
If you ever become a producer
for The Bachelor,
for like a show like The Bachelor, please, for the love of God, don't be a bastard like they are.
Well, I might have to, because the views. More views, more money. So I might be a bastard, but I'd surely text you guys.
Well, no spoilers.
Fine.
I mean,
no spoilers.
Fine.
Don't ruin it.
So anyways, it probably won't happen anytime soon, but I might be there one day, so just keep tabs on who's producing in the context. But day 2, boy oh boy, did they give us a roller coaster.
It was a roller coaster.
Colin?
Yeah, we, as we alluded to, we all knew that Madison was gone. So now it was more of like, well, is he gonna pop the question?
React?
Yeah, is he gonna pop the question? Is he gonna tell her? Obviously the family was all for it. The family loved Hannah Ann.
Sure.
So there was no doubt there.
Yeah, they wanted everything to do with Hannah Ann.
And so, Chris Harrison, I mean, you slime ball. You just led us on the entire time, like...
He knows how to talk.
Most dramatic commercial. I mean...
He knows what he's doing.
Job.
25 seasons.
Terrific
25
job.
seasons.
Nothing but respect. Nobody does their job better than Chris Harrison. That's
True.
a fact.
True.
And then, he decides he's going to pop the question.
Yeah.
Picks out a ring and does it in a very interesting way.
The fact that Chris had the balls, because obviously producers and he well knew that she was coming no matter what goes. I don't know if she's coming.
Yeah, that was kind of dirty.
And at the same time, she said it in episodes before, in this episode, saying like, I'm giving in my all. I'm just going to put my heart on the line, and if it gets broken, I'm just knowing that it's stopped there. So we all knew that she was going to show up.
Yes, that's a fact.
And then he gave the whirlwind, almost gave Peter a heart attack, which I was very devastated, but at the same time, he almost deserved it. Not to have a heart attack, but to feel like that. I don't know, he kind of just got it that way. So then she ends up showing up, and I don't think she could have picked worse heels to walk down that runway. Step by step by step by step.
Right.
I know they cut it up, but it was probably a good 15-minute walk.
I'm just saying, she brought the heels in. Chris met her at the car. The least that man could have done. There's one critique I'm going to give Chris Harrison. The least that man could have done is walk her in those heels. I mean, she literally stepped out of the car and her heels sunk into that sand at least 2 inches. I mean, she just sunk. The least he could have done is walked her to a solid platform for her to walk on instead of one step.
He was all
balance, one step balance.
But then again, he's a showman, so he knows how to look during the camera. So I just know.
Doesn't mean he can't walk her down.
Yeah, be a gentleman. Yeah,
be a gentleman. Somebody, maybe Trent. Where was Trent?
Where was Trent?
Trent could have walked her.
Where was where's luggage, man? We want to know. We want to have your thoughts and opinions on it.
But if we're being honest, though, like we were saying how Chris provides the best entertainment, that was entertaining.
It was. It was a good. I just love the fact that she was like.
Yeah. She was struggling.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was beautiful. So she gets down there. He holds her hand. He looks pissed off right away. Starts smiling. Then gets really serious. Does the long fakey about how he felt about her, thinking that we're gonna see a no. Proposes. She says yes.
Right before he proposes, he says, "Oh, by the way, Madison left 2 days ago." Yeah. Then proposes.
Yes, the bombshell.
Yeah. Big bombshell.
The big bombshell. She was really excited. She said yes. Yada yada yada. Big grand applause. We were not off our seats in this apartment. We were just knowing something was fishy. We just knew something stunk, as Colin always says. And what happened?
Shit didn't work out, man.
Shit did not end up how we knew but thought was going to happen because of what was preceded as the engagement.
A tale as old as time, really.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah,
honestly, heartbreaking.
So ends up to find out that she still had the ring on, even though they hadn't seen each other for a month. A month. But here's a real question: do we know if they talked? Probably not. That was weird.
I don't think they could. Like, I think that was probably in their contract that they couldn't communicate because they couldn't spill the beans.
Right. Someone would see something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So then they get back together, and she knows something's up right away.
Something messed up. Anyway, she goes to the restroom, the bathroom. He ends up following her. Obviously, I was impressed. The girl, Hannah Ann, our girl, Hannah Ann, told him off. Was like, dude, you shouldn't have done this if you didn't actually feel it. Dude, you shouldn't have done this if you didn't feel towards the way you just did it kind of out of, basically you panicked, which...
He panicked.
Yeah, he panicked.
She made the best point, I think, for the situation, that when he had proposed to her, he said, Madison left 2 days ago. He had 2 days to go to Hannah Ann, tell her exactly what happened. Madison left. He still really has feelings for both of them. Probably, safely, the right thing to do would have been, I need to figure out what's going on. And I cannot propose to you. The show as far as The Bachelor is done for now.
Unless, which may be possible, who knows, but unless one of us, mainly me and Nick and I, come The Bachelor, we'll never know what it's like to be madly in love with two women at the same time that want you more than anything.
It's a tough situation, for sure. It's a tough situation. At
the same time, we can agree with him being like, he doesn't know where his heart is, but at the same time, dude, come on, love is love.
Poorly handled. The engagement was poorly handled. It never should have happened, in my opinion. He never should have done it, but, like you said, Tom, he panicked. He
proposed.
Probably had some pushback from the producers, like, Peter, we gotta have an engagement, buddy. We gotta have an engagement. And he did it. And Hannah Ann was all excited about it, and then a month later, he still naturally has feelings for Madison, and she figures that out and roasts him.
Roast the crap out of him. So, after that debacle...
This is like when Barbara, Peter's mom, starts to disown him in the show.
Yeah.
And ABC played it over and over and over, and we made a joke about getting a Barbara screen in the bottom of the corner, just like that. We had it.
We got it. So right as we got that, they bring out Hannah Ann to talk about her feelings and what's happening, and it goes over how everyone was expecting. They didn't do any.
For sure.
She roasts the crap out of him.
Again.
you're an idiot. You shouldn't have ever done this to me. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go back to my life. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you could see that he was embarrassed. And that's how we got to end that scenario. It was that he fucked up.
Colin put it perfectly while we were watching. Peter became the most hated man in the country in a matter of an hour and a half.
Yes.
Big time.
He bungled that so bad.
I love how this is the last 2 episodes are live because we get to really truly experience his reactions. It's not edited. It's not cut. It's just from camera to camera. And it was truly amazing. And at this moment, we had no idea what was to come. I know we saw clips of Chris talking to Madison somewhere, somehow. And
one last thing on this topic before we move on to Madison. I totally agree that Hannah Ann had every right to do and say everything that she said to him. But we must all, I believe we must all respect that Peter was able to just say, I messed up.
That's true.
He
valid.
He did not try steering away from it.
Yeah.
He accepted it, and that's a tough thing that a lot of people would have trouble with.
True.
And so while they weren't great things, he owned up to it.
It's true. And he said that the entire season. I'm just trying to be open and honest, and he was definitely open and honest.
Yeah.
It was truly a mind blowing experience to say the least. But then for some reason Chris goes, but Peter, we got a surprise. I went to Alabama and talked to Madison, and believably I believe that he had no idea that was coming because that facial reaction was somewhat believable that it was genuine.
Yeah, I think it was real. Yeah.
So, anyways, they show a clip right after that. They find out that Hannah Ann and Peter don't work. They go to Alabama, talk to Madison, saying they broke up because of you. He still loves you. You should go and see him. This and that. I think we could still get a show out of it. So apparently they set him up in some nice house with a pool, like he was going to go swimming. And as he says, he thinks he's going to see Chris, but here's high heels, turns around and it's Madison. He melts into 100 pieces. I almost melt into 100 pieces, but I'm not going to get to that point. But it was truly a weird scenario going on for all of us because we had no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, it was...
The crazy part about it is I love the way he looked at the camera was so kind of creepy, but so like so predictable, but at the same time so funny. And then he kind of looked at the camera like, holy shit, yeah, this is real. And it was just magnificent. They talked, I guess, blah, blah, blah. And then it cuts to the main screen live saying that Madison's here. She's going to come talk.
Meanwhile, Barbara's shaking her head.
Barbara in the corner is like so pissed, rolling her eyes. I'm just going to say it. Barbara, if you're listening to me, you're the worst ever. You really need to tone it in and just trust your son. And when he's looking at you and almost he's crying, he's tearing up and saying, I love this woman. This is what I want. You just got to trust his ability besides being like,
yeah.
And I don't care. She's a fake. She's Christian. She has all these different. She's not going to let you party.
That I just want you to know I have love for your son, which means I have love for your family as well. And so I think that was the right thing to do. I mean, yeah. I think while she maybe chimed in a couple times when people didn't expect her to, each time she chimed in, she said the right thing. She
did. She clapped back a few times at what Barb had to say, which whatever Barb had to say, honestly, completely unnecessary. Like, I get it.
Especially on live television.
I get it. Yeah.
You have no right to tell my son what. But at the same time, like Madison said, this is not all about Peter's journey. It's about my journey, and I am a lot passed out because I've never seen a bachelor or bachelorette say something like that.
No.
It's not all about the person that gets picked. It's a couples. They gotta combine in what one feels about another.
Yeah. Barb.
God bless your soul.
You're a nice enough lady. I think I only know you from the show, probably.
A rich lady.
From watching the show, you're entirely too invested in your son's love life. Number one, I'm just gonna throw that.
Basically,
he's too old for that.
He's what? 26, 27?
No, he's
28.
28.
Whatever. 28 years old.
She's basically picking who he gets to marry, which is not.
No, go ahead and go piss up a robe.
And I just love how
Peter's 28 years old.
And I just love how Peter Sr., his dad was like, listen, she's my wife, so I can't say anything.
He's in a tough spot.
He had to stay on her side, but you could tell he was like, bud, just do whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
it just turned into...
It was a really terrible situation for Peter to be put in. Like,
well, can we... Yeah, go on.
I think everything Barbara was saying, she thought she was going to be on the right side of it.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, but everything that Madison said, she was actually on the right side of it.
For sure.
And Barbara ended up looking like the villain, and Madison, as we've seen all season, ended up looking like a saint. So.
True.
So basically, as of right now, they're dating. They have not posted anything on the interwebs about their current situation. I firmly believe that they'll be engaged within a year because Peter's just kind of that way. But we'll just have to keep tabs on their life. But I truly believe that he is going to invest his entire life. Because he's a pilot and can go anywhere in the world and live, basically. And so I think he can adapt to her life. That's all I'm saying.
And get away from Barb.
Yeah.
And get away from that Barb.
You need a break from your family, dude. You gotta just...
Especially Jack. I have an older brother and
I didn't like Jack.
That's what I'm saying. If I have an older brother, and not ever, I love you, Matt, but never in a million years am I so invested in your love life that I'm almost crying, and with every... I know it's a show. I know it. But man, dude, you really gotta jump back and just let your brother do whatever he wants to do. Seriously. Because...
Too far invested in their business.
With that being said, what's our more lock? Are we doing more locks?
Predictions for Peter and Madison's future.
Oh!
Where does it go?
I think,
Where do we go from here, boys?
I started out, and I'll start off. They date for a year, they be together for a year, and then he proposes within a year.
I really want Peter to stick this one to Barb and marry her.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily out of spite, but just because it will make the world keep going round. But I have a bad feeling about this. And if we're being honest, my emotions have been too far into this show, and I have been brought up and taken back down so many times by Madison. It would only be poetic that it would happen one last time. So I just want to say, Madison, whatever happens in life, I wish you the best.
Damn. For those who do not know Madison, screw you, but also this is Madison. Nick? Dear Madison.
I think I agree with Tom. They're gonna date for a while. They're gonna figure this whole thing out. Hopefully, Madison is still as in love with Peter as she said she was tonight. I see them getting married. I think it's happening. That's what I think's happening. On a separate note, Hannah Ann, if you're listening,
Hannah Ann,
look me up on Instagram. And Peversteed. Just throw that out there. Slide my DMs. completely wide open.
Comment section, feel free to slide into.
Either.
Any
I am also
correspondence.
available to a hangout.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
no, he's not.
we all
Tom's
know.
busy.
No.
Tom's busy. All the time.
Thank you so much for this wild roller coaster ride. Emotion roller coaster / depressing / confusing time in within posting in the show. I do apologize for our inconvenience about posting in the past. I honestly have no idea where this show is going to go, whether it's going to stop, whether it's going to continue, whether we're going to start a new show. I just ask you, thank you for your support throughout the way. I know who you are. Thank you once again. We appreciate you. You're thebond.com. Peter, God bless your soul. At the same time, I want you to say you screwed up, but at the same time, I wish you the best. Hannah Ann, like Nick said, if you're watching,
No.
I was gonna give you the shout out.
Oh, thank you. Proceed.
Nick's here. He's a great guy. He's the same age as Peter, so just.
I'm 26. You bastard.
Anyways, this is Colin. I'm Tom. This is Nick signing off.
Love you guys.
Thanks
We
for
love
watching.
you. Peace. Let's do this right. Ready? We're not gonna mess up on the last one. Ready? Peace.
Love.
And happiness.
And cut.
That's a wrap.